There's a reason that people flock to Las Vegas from all over the world. It is the entertainment capital of the world. But Las Vegas isn't just for tourists. There's plenty here for locals to enjoy too, and it doesn't have to be expensive. Welcome to How To Vegas, your weekly 30-minute guide to Southern Nevada. I'm Ross DiMattei. Each week we're going to show you a spot to check out, tell you where to eat and where to check out art, introduce you to local entertainers, and share some local secrets. So let's get started. Do you have a free day but nothing to do? Well, we've got you covered. There's plenty to see and do in Las Vegas and Southern Nevada that you may not even know about. 13 Action News' Joyce Lupiani will share those places with you in close to home. And all you need to do is jump in the car and be ready for an adventure. Here we go.
Every town and city in America seems to have a main street. Las Vegas is no different. The city of Las Vegas began making major improvements to Main Street in 2016. The two-way street is now a one-way street with a bike lane and wider sidewalks. In addition, lights have been strung overhead to give it that warm, cozy feeling. Today's Main Street is pedestrian-friendly and lined with great places to visit. Here are a few of our suggestions. Casa Don Juan is a popular Mexican restaurant and one of the oldest businesses on Main Street. It opened in 1995. Not only does it have authentic Mexican food, but it also promotes Mexico's culture and art. Conrad West Gallery, which opened in January, features original work by more than 30 of North America's premier artists. Recycle Propaganda features well-known local artists and often hosts special exhibits and events. Fans of great beer has several breweries to choose from on Main Street, including Able Baker Brewery, Huddle Brewing Company, and Nevada Brew Works. Around the corner from Main Street is the Silver Stamp. The bar is known for its wood paneling, Christmas lights, antiques, and a beer can wall. And, of course, we can't forget to mention Rebar, one of the first bars to open on the modern Main Street. It's a great place to grab a drink and hang out with friends. Makers and Finders is the place to go for a cup of coffee and Latin food. And Esther's Kitchen, which is just a block away from Main Street, is well known for its gourmet menu. Good Pie is known for its Brooklyn, Detroit, and Grandma-style pizza. It recently opened on Main Street. You should also check out the Tacotarian. Their vegan tacos are quite delicious. Cork and Thorn is a popular place for live entertainment, and sometimes the party even spills into the alley. It's always a good time. And in a couple of months, you'll be able to see Pauly Shore and other great comedians at the new Wise Guys Comedy Club. Fans of the theater should check out Majestic Repertory Theater. Their popular productions often sell out. If you're interested in shopping, there are several antique stores on Main Street. You can also find clothing stores like the Buffalo Exchange. If you're looking for a good table book, check out the brand new store named Edit. They also feature local artwork. If you're looking for a different kind of ink, head to Coolsville Tattoos. Their $10 tattoos are especially popular. You can also find a yoga studio and hair salon on Main Street. Want to tie the knot? There's a couple of wedding chapels to choose from. While Main Street stretches from the Strat Hotel Casino to North Las Vegas, the area you will want to visit is between East Charleston Boulevard and Utah Avenue. Parking can be a bit of a challenge, but there are a couple of paid lots in addition to street parking. Last but not least, don't miss the many murals in street art. Just take a stroll down one of the many alleys near Main Street and you'll find plenty to look at. You might even be tempted to stage a little photo shoot. I'm Joyce Lupiani, and if you want to read more about Main Street, just head to ktnv.com.
Are you looking for the best places to eat and drink in Las Vegas? Well, there is plenty to choose from. 13 Action News' Jordan Gartner and OffTheStrip.com's Melinda Shekels will make sure that you know about the best places each week in Vegas Eats.
It's time to talk food and drinks in Las Vegas. I'm Jordan Gartner, and Melinda Shekels from OffTheStrip.com is here to help guide us as we head down to the plaza. Who is calling that their new home?
Hi, Jordan. Thank you. Yes, the Sand Dollar, which is one of Las Vegas's kind of iconic music Institutions is heading downtown, their second location. So Sand Dollar is a lounge. It's a small concert venue. They have some amazing cocktails there. And they just recently announced that they're going to be occupying a space inside the plaza. Obviously, another iconic Las Vegas property as well. It's going to be right there next to the pop-up pizza shop. And they're going to have live entertainment on the weekends. They'll have some of their fabulous cocktails that they're known for. And this is really an exciting venture because it represents, a very local Las Vegas business that's now getting kind of its wings. It's getting recognition nationwide, worldwide, for being really a hub for musicians when they come to town. They're performing the shows. They come do pop-up shows at the Sand Dollar. So really excited to see what we're going to get from their second location inside the plaza.
And you're going to take us over to the Wynn Las Vegas. What's new over there?
Wynn just opened one of the most spectacular restaurants I think I've ever seen in my existence, to use a lot of superlatives, but it's called Delilah at Wynn Las Vegas. Now, Delilah is a very famous restaurant that came from West Hollywood, from the H Wood Group, which is a hospitality company that kind of caters to all the celebrities in Hollywood. And they're opening their second iteration of Delilah. And Delilah is a supper club, and it's become very big in LA and West Hollywood over the last couple of years. They picked out a spot at Wynn Las Vegas, which is formerly the Chairman's Salon. Prior to that, it was Restaurant Alex. It is a multi-level, just gorgeous dining room designed by Todd Avery Lenihan. It really channels the Vegas showrooms of the past, of the 1950s, and it's the showgirl vibe. It is absolutely rich from head to toe, and the food is rich, the interior is rich, the entertainment is rich, and Delilah just is an all incredible night out. It's really dinner and a show. It is that supper club concept that Vegas loves to embrace so much. So you go there, you start your night maybe 7 or 8 o'clock in their little bubble bar, and then you head down the grand sweeping staircase into the dining room where there's a singer belting out jazz, and then you sit at your beautiful table and you have incredible classic Americana food such as beef Wellington and shellfish towers. It's a very opulent night out. Incredible cocktails there as well, and you can experience all of that at Wynn Las Vegas.
Awesome. And of course, we all have our favorite dishes. You have a best bite to share with us. Where are you going to take us to?
Okay, so truff mayo. So bear with me here, and it is so good. It's truffle mayonnaise. So Truff is a very cool hot sauce company, came out a few years ago. They've really used kind of social media influencing to their benefit. They have the handle @sauce, so you can check them out on Instagram. And they've done a bunch of spin-off products from their hot sauce. It is truffle infused hot sauce. They recently came out with truffle infused mayo, and I tried this for the first time, the spicy mayo and the regular mayo, and I've got to tell you that it is an absolutely fantastic bite, no matter what you put it on, whether it's salads, whether it's on a hot dog, whether it's a sandwich. You can use truff mayo in so many different ways, and the spicy is absolutely delicious. It's very spicy, and you can buy it across. You can buy it at Whole Foods, you can buy it on Amazon, you can buy it on their website. Very cool series of products.
We're over to the Aria, and we're going to talk about Catch. What's some of their new offerings going on there?
Catch is also another favorite celebrity hotspot from LA. They also have one in New York too. And Catch came to Aria a few years ago. I think it was 2018. They opened a Vegas location, and they really became famous over the last couple of years for their brunch in Los Angeles. And now they've finally brought that brunch to Las Vegas. We have it. And it really is a great brunch if you're looking for a very seafood and sushi heavy brunch. Obviously, Catch seafood restaurant. They have fantastic sushi there, but they also have so many other options if you have people in your party that maybe aren't eating sushi or raw fish or even fish. So they have an incredible coconut kale chicken salad, which is to die for. It's very fresh and delicious. They have some incredible hangover remedies, green juices with cayenne and ginger. And then they also have great coffee drinks too. So really all the best things of brunch.
Awesome. Melinda, thank you so much for sharing your insight and for joining us this week. We will be back next week with more Vegas Eats right here on KTMV Streaming.
We'll be back with more of How to Vegas right after the break. Welcome back to How to Vegas, your weekly look at what there is to see, do, and taste here in Las Vegas. For more on things to do around the valley, visit ktnv.com/things to do. Now, it's not all about the neon lights and shows on the Las Vegas Strip. There is a booming art scene here too. 13 Action News' Amy Abdel Sayed will tell you where to go and what to see each week in Vegas arts.
When most people think of Las Vegas, they can't help but think of casinos or strip clubs, maybe even sweltering dry desert. And that's not totally wrong. As someone who grew up in Las Vegas, I'll confess, the sound of slot machines feels like home. Maybe because it's the first sound to greet me when I deboard a plane at McCarran Airport. But while the image of glitzy, gambling desert oasis is not inaccurate, it is incomplete. There's a whole nother side of Vegas that most people don't see, and that's the creativity and the art born from a city as diverse and unique as it gets. Whether you live in Las Vegas or you're just visiting, here's a look at 5 art-related things to check out that you won't see anywhere else. Let's begin at the most obvious starting point, downtown Las Vegas, near Fremont Street and Las Vegas Boulevard. Most of the buildings are covered in murals, many painted by local artists, showcasing them in a way that's hard to miss. There's something to look at every which way you turn. Just going for a walk and getting lost in that area can be rewarding. Plus, it's free to wander downtown, minus parking, and there are cool bars and restaurants in the area to check out while you're there. Also, the casinos in downtown Vegas are a bit cheaper than those on the Strip. While you're downtown, it wouldn't hurt to meander into Gold and Silver Pawn Shop near Las Vegas and Charleston Boulevards. Believe it or not, there's really interesting art on display. I've seen work from Pablo Picasso and Salvador Dali hanging on their walls, just to name a few. It's totally free to enjoy, and everything is for sale if you're a collector. It's probably safe to say it's the only place in Las Vegas where you can buy a piece of fine art and a $10 I Heart Chumlee lanyard. Right next to downtown is the Arts District, and it's called that for a reason. Home to the Arts Factory, a 50-year-old commercial warehouse turned art center on Charleston Boulevard near Main Street, there are dozens of tenants, artists, showcasing and selling their work, such as photography, fine art, jewelry, and more. It's even home to Gallery to Go, a refurbished vending machine that dispenses small artworks by local artists. And down the street from the Arts Factory, on Main Street, you'll find galleries from local artists like Recycled Propaganda, as well as bars and restaurants. Speaking of the Arts District, the area is also home to First Friday, a monthly arts and culture festival, complete with live music and food trucks. Vegas artists of all kinds can sell their work. First Friday happens on the first Friday of every month, and it's been going on for more than 17 years, so it's kind of a long-time staple. Finally, you can't talk art in Vegas without mentioning the Bellagio Gallery of Fine Art. The space has previously presented exhibits for Pablo Picasso and Andy Warhol. On view through August 22nd is Leather Throwers, celebrating the world of boxing through art, featuring work inspired by, well, the world of boxing. General admission is $16 and children 5 and under are free. Las Vegas is unlike any other city in the world, and the creativity it contains, the art that comes from the people that make up the city, it reflects that. This list just touches on the surface of art in Las Vegas. With our new series, Las Vegas Art Scene, we hope to showcase local artists and art experiences in Las Vegas to enjoy. Reporting for 13 Action News, I'm Amy Abdel Sayed.
We'll be back with more of How to Vegas right after the break. Welcome back to How to Vegas, your weekly look at what there is to see, do, and taste here in Las Vegas. For more on things to do around the valley, visit ktnv.com/things to do. The glitz and glam of Hollywood and the lights of Las Vegas go hand in hand. And Vegas plays a big part in a lot of major movies, whether it's the city itself or the people who come from it. Film critic Josh Bell shows us some of the latest movies with a local connection.
I'm Josh Bell with a look at the latest Vegas connection to the movies. The most recent local production to be featured in wide release is the comedy Marathon, now available for video on demand rental. Written and directed by UNLV alums Anthony Guidobaldi and Keith Strasbaugh, Marathon is a Christopher Guest-style mockumentary about a group of oddball characters preparing for a Nevada desert race known as the Devil's Canyon Marathon. Of course, these aren't your typical athletes, and their training and the race itself are a non-stop comedy of errors. The cast is full of local performers from productions including Cirque du Soleil, Blue Man Group, and Absinthe, and the talented performers make their characters charming and funny even when they aren't delivering specific jokes. That's Marathon, now on VOD. Also relatively new to watch at home is the indie dramedy Milkwater, now streaming on Netflix following its initial VOD release. Las Vegas native and Las Vegas Academy of the Arts graduate Molly Bernard plays Milo, an aimless Brooklyn 20-something hipster who impulsively decides to become a surrogate for an older gay man she barely knows. Milo's entire life is thrown into chaos by her decision to bear a child for someone else, and her behavior is a bit extreme at times, especially as she inserts herself into the life of the man whose baby she's carrying. But Molly Bernard remains charming even when Milo is acting like a jerk, and the movie remains charming as well, telling a satisfying story about maturity and individuality. That's Milkwater, now on Netflix and still available on VOD. If you're looking to catch up on Vegas movies from a little earlier this year, there are a couple of other VOD rental options. Local director Hassani Johnson's Takeout Girl is inspired in part by the life of star and co-writer Hedy Wong, who plays a young woman who starts delivering drugs out of her family's Chinese restaurant in order to make extra money. Johnson and Wong mix a thriller story with a portrayal of a struggling immigrant family, and that combination has brought them plenty of attention that should translate into future projects. British filmmaker Paul Tanter came to Vegas for Stealing Chaplin, a comedy about a pair of Vegas lowlifes who get the dubious idea to steal the corpse of Charlie Chaplin and hold it for ransom. This offbeat story was shot partially on Wayne Newton's ranch, and it includes a cameo from the Vegas legend himself. Both Takeout Girl and Stealing Chaplin are now on VOD.
We'll be back with more of How to Vegas right after the break. Welcome back to How to Vegas, your weekly look at what there is to see, do, and taste here in Las Vegas. For more on things to do around the valley, visit ktnv.com/things to do. Locals always know the best places to go, how to get there, and what to do once you've arrived. 13 Action News' Jason Denant unlocks the secrets to doing Vegas like a local.
Want to go to an Aces game like a local with insider tips? Hello, I'm Jason Denant with 13 Action News. Follow me and let's Vegas like a local. Before you get to the game, let's talk parking tips. You can park at Mandalay Bay, but locals know the Luxor is a lot easier to get out of after the game. And closer to the pizza joint, we'll talk about later. Next, skip the box office line at Michelob Ultra Arena, purchase your tickets online, and head right to the entrance. If you need help, customer service is just inside the doors, and the merchandise booth is there as well. A game wouldn't be complete without snacks. Now, what to get first? They may just be typical roasted nuts, but for some reason, these taste way more delicious and you won't regret this purchase. Tip alert, many people walk right past these kiosks, but if you're looking for a drink, the lines at these tend to be smaller than at the full bars. What else to get? Dole Whip. Yes, please. Adult tip, grab a shot from the bar to add on top for the perfect game day adult treat. One last look before heading to your seats. Hop and Olive has a full bar, Munch Grill has great hot dogs, yummy chicken fingers, and your standard arena food, and Real Pit Barbecue has some tasty plates. Let's go find our seats. The game is about to begin. The great thing about Michelob Ultra Arena is that every seat in the house has a great view. Take a look at this. Don't forget to follow the Aces on social media and also tag KTNV on your game day post. Now the Aces have won the game, what to do now? Traffic may be slow getting out, so wait a little bit. Head on over to Mandalay Place, grab a slice of pizza at Slice Las Vegas. It's also an Aces meetup spot after the games. You can also head a bit further down the walk to the food court inside Luxor for many family affordable options. Visit ktnv.com for more How to Vegas and check back next week for another edition of Vegas Like a Local.
Thanks for watching How to Vegas. And if you missed any part of this week's program, just hit the back button on your remote and then scroll down until you see KTNV Digital Exclusives. And there you'll find this show and all of our dedicated streaming content. And stay tuned for more from 13 Action News after the break. And check us out anytime here on KTNV Streaming, Las Vegas News on your time.